Hello friends, I am That Brit Rick, and today, as you guessed it, we are going to be checking out the freshly announced Nintendo Switch 2. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button for even more awesome video game content. Back in March of 2017, the original Switch released, flooding the market with the most powerful and accessible handheld console the world had seen, combining your favorite features from previous Nintendo consoles such as the touchscreen from DS and per-hand controllers like the Wii, quickly taking third place behind the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2 in the list of the best-selling consoles with over 146 million units shipped worldwide. The Switch became a favorite amongst families and gamers. But how has the Switch held up over these years? Compared to later released handheld gaming consoles like the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG Ally, almost all of its features have been overshadowed, from screen size to processing power and even battery life. To be frank, once I got hold of my Steam Deck, I really didn't use my Switch for a very long time. Nintendo has tough competition, but they also have the capital to compete with the big boys and push themselves further than ever before. Announced just yesterday, despite the numerous leaks and speculation, the Nintendo Switch 2, scheduled for global release sometime before the end of 2025, has got everybody everywhere talking. From a glance, the Switch 2 already looks sleeker and more modern. No more red and blue Joy-Cons, now matching the base console with subtle pops of color instead. Approximately 14% larger than the original Switch, boasting approximately 4.5 inches in height and a whopping 10.7 inches in width. For comparison, the Steam Deck is 4.6 inches in height and 11.7 inches in width. This is going to be a beefy console to say the least. Reportedly, just like all other handheld console releases of date, we are seeing an LCD release at launch, with an impressive 8-inch screen size, about 25% larger than the original Switch. This is a significant improvement. Even the bezels do appear to be smaller than the original Switch. Performance-wise, the Switch 2 is rumored to be powered by a custom NVIDIA Tegra 239 processor, allegedly putting this on par with that of the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One in terms of processing power. But here's the cool part. It has also been rumored that upon docking, using sophisticated machine learning techniques instead of the default handheld 720p resolution, we could see visuals up to 4K. Imagine getting blue-shelled in Mario Kart in 4K. In terms of storage, Nintendo hasn't confirmed what internal storage will be available, but with the increase in all other specs over the original Switch, I should hope I'd be able to store more than 2 Pokemon games at one time on the Switch 2. It is rumored that there will be support for the Express Micro SD, at least, allowing for much larger and faster storage. Additionally, the Switch 2 should be packing a sweet 12GB of RAM, compared to a measly 4GB the original Switch was given. Now for the important part, the games. Nintendo has confirmed that original Switch games, digital and cartridge, will be playable on the new Switch 2, but not all games will be compatible. Without further details, we are not sure which games will be left to rot over on the original Switch, but as long as we can play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on anything higher than 10 FPS, I am sold. With the hefty potential power of the Switch 2, some of your favorite Switch games should see a massively significant performance boost, but also open the doors to potentially more ambitious and intense games that would never have been released on any Nintendo consoles before. This could truly be the golden age for Nintendo fans, but maybe not their bank accounts. Let's talk pricing. With no confirmed price point by Nintendo, we can only speculate based on previous Switch pricing and that of other handheld consoles with similar specs. Upon initial release, the original Switch with the LCD screen and 32GB memory dropped for almost $300. The Switch Lite released later for $199, but lacking the docking ability and smaller in size. The Switch OLED model released with a larger price point of $349 with a bigger and brighter screen and additional storage. If we compare the Switch OLED with the entry-level Steam Deck, we are looking about a $50 difference. The few years between their releases, there is no denying the immense power that the Steam Deck has. Able to run almost any PC game with ease, it is almost unfair to compare the two. But from a price point, keep this in mind. Whilst the Asus ROG Ally does bring up the handheld console average, its steeper price point makes it a little less accessible to the masses. Touching back on the rumored Nvidia processor, if we do see the Switch 2 released with this, we will see significant performance increases over the Switch, but it still won't be as powerful as already existing handheld devices like the Steam Deck. But does it need to be? Games like Breath of the Wild and the recent Pokemon games had seen the Switch pushed to its limits, with some graphical and performance sacrifices. But with the Switch 2 and Nintendo and their current increasing gaming demands, I am sure that the Switch 2 will easily be able to tackle some of those demands for years to come. Unless they hope to release GTA 6 on the Switch, that is. Now, the biggest deal breaker here will be the price. Even if Nintendo releases the Switch 2 at the same price as the cheapest Steam Deck, even with its lesser performance, being only $50 more than the OLED Switch, it might be a reasonable jump that consumers are willing to make. But if we look back at Nintendo's previous consoles and their prices upon release, the Nintendo DS being $150, the Nintendo 3DS being, checks notes, a whopping $250 upon release, soon dropping to $170, the Nintendo Wii being $250, and then the LCD Switch coming in just shy of $300. The OLED did bump this up to around $350. If this gradual incremental progression gives us any hint as to what we could be expected to pay for the Switch 2, I'd maybe put it around the $400 mark. I could easily see this being pushed closer to $500 if we see an OLED model too, to bring that price closer to the Steam Deck and its OLED model. Personally, having already purchased the Switch and the Steam Deck, I would hope that the Switch 2 would come in closer to the $400 mark. Nintendo and their games and consoles have always come in with a premium price point. I'm neither over or underwhelmed, I am merely whelmed at this announcement. But I should hope once we see a hands-on experience due to take place in April, we'll have more information and maybe even a little more hype. What was your favorite Switch game that you can't wait to try out on the Switch 2? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do like and subscribe for even more content. As always, I am That Bread Brick, and until next time.